Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome, non-patrons, to episode 244 of Dude and a Monkey. If you were a patron, you'd have just listened to our fantastic conversation about, and I'm not going to tell you, become a fucking patron and listen. You'll also get other content within that patron. You'll get Ian's Sight and Sound Top 250. It is.
Two-lane blacktop I did this week.
Two-lane blacktop. I like two-lane blacktop.
I'm not fucking saying whether I liked it. Pay us.
Payers, yes. And you can listen to me commit to terms with Silence of the Lambs, and later on next week you'll listen to me maybe commit to terms or maybe going, no, do you know what, I'm fucking right about The Prince's Bride. Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
And coming this weekend, we're recording our Neon Demon commentary as part of our, we say monthly, it's kind of not working monthly at the moment, sorry about that, guys, commentary track. Choice by the patrons. $2.50 a month. We don't pimp it that much, but there is quite a bit of extra content on there. The show's about 12 minutes longer this week, I reckon. Even though, to be fair, a minute of it is me trying to find a bottle opener. So, just a fair warning. But yeah, $2.50 a month. You get a lot of extra content, and literally, it pays for the podcast hosting and the site hosting. Yeah.
And we've just renewed the site, which has given me an extra vigour to write things for it. So I'll hopefully start getting more on there. Film and music related, it's going to be a lot more of that.
Yeah, do it. Expand that shit. I'm going to try and write about Armie Hammer more.
Yes, you should write about Armie Hammer more. I'm got a review bubbling for a couple of things at the moment that I'm going to write about, including one which basically is me explaining again why I'm an idiot, which seems to happen quite a lot.
Nice.
So yeah, what we got this week? We've got the Shape of Water review, haven't we?
Yep.
We've got the review of the final 50 Shades movie, 50 Shades Freed.
Mm-hmm.
We're finally reviewing Magnolia,
yay!
Which we said we'd do to coincide with the Phantom Thread, and we're doing it 3 weeks later.
Yep.
But fuck it, we said we'd do it, and we're doing it.
Yep.
It's 3 hours 10 minutes long, but we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll chat some trailers. I think there's been a couple out, but not many. I know I've got a few things to chat on what we've been watching, and we'll tangent along the way, I am sure. Ian, is there anything that's kind of happened in the wonderful world of film that we need to talk about this week?
Sorry, excuse me. I've still got that cough from last week. I tell you what, I think my boss gave me my cough. She fucking, bless her, she's been fucking suffering and got a cough, and I think it just went to me. It's not fucking off. Anyway, it was the BAFTAs. Nothing much really happened.
No.
It's
just a little bit. I've never kind of got on with the BAFTAs in the sense that it just feels a little bit. Well, yeah, that's happened.
It feels like, in relation to the Oscars, it's #MeToo.
Yeah.
It's I want to come play too. I'll do it a couple of weeks before the Oscars, where studios are still bothered to send people over to try and drive publicity for their Oscar campaigns. Yes, please. Hi. Yeah.
It's a little bit like that, but if it comes upon I very much doubt they put on American trailers, or blah, BAFTA nominated actor. It's like, right, sir. I think the fact that it's also TV as well, I don't think helps.
Yeah, it's just another one of those things on the build up to the Oscars.
Yeah, it is a little bit. It's like, I think everybody who wins it is probably very proud, and they should be very proud that they've won it. It's still a big achievement to fucking win a BAFTA, but it's very much one of these things where I think if you were to offer any actor, writer, director, anything to do with film and say, right, you can have a BAFTA or you can have an Oscar, they're going to go, could I have the Oscar, please?
Yeah, I mean, that's
fair
it.
enough.
What did we learn? People like free billboards despite the fact the internet doesn't, or like BAFTA does. What else did we learn? Daniel Kaluuya is a rising star. Yep, great. And by the way, actually, ever so slight tangent, A podcast I think I've recommended before, Playback with Christopher Tapley. It's a variety podcast. He did an interview that I listened to this week. It was released a few weeks back. That guy knows his film, and he seems he seems really passionate, and he seems to have his ear to the ground. Like, I came out of that with more. I already had quite a bit of respect for Daniel Kaluuya, but I came out of that with more respect than I did coming in. He seems to be a one. It's good.
It's always nice when you hear an interview with somebody, an actor, writer, director, or anything like that, and they actually seem to really have a proper actual passion for film. I remember a while ago seeing an interview. I can't remember if I read it or I saw it. I think I might have read it with Jesse Eisenberg, who basically said that he doesn't watch films and isn't that interested in film.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, so why are you an actor then?
Yeah, I mean,
and it made me think that it was that thing of, right, he says, it's very much, it's a job to him. And I thought, well, do you know what? That's fine. Who am I to criticise? But it's a little bit like, but you'd want somebody who's got into that position to have it as a passion. It's like when and I've seen it before with footballers who go, yeah, I don't really like football. I just happen to be really good at it. And it's a bit like, right, that's cool and well done on you. And it takes an awful lot of dedication and an awful lot of sacrifice to get to where you are, to being able to make a living out of it. It doesn't just happen. But it just feels a little bit like, fuck. There's somebody out there that would fucking love to do that, and they've just not had that little bit that somebody has got. And it can be break or it can be anything like that. It just always feels a little bit wasted. It's why I remember one of the episodes of the Bret Easton Ellis podcast I enjoyed the most was the one he had Tom Sizemore on.
Oh yeah.
Because he loves film, and he wasn't on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast just to talk about Tom Sizemore. He was talking about all the films that Easton Ellis was saying. Oh yeah, when I saw this, he was like, yeah, I saw that, and I went to see this, and I saw that, and you're just going, shit. This guy doesn't just like them; he watches it. He watched so much, and he's talking about directors and actors that influenced him. But he's not just saying, "Oh, I saw him in this." He was going into complete detail, and it was like, do you know what? The way I always judge it is, could I sit with that person for 4 hours and chat about one fucking movie? And I reckon I fucking could.
Yeah, no, quite. I mean, it's like on this podcast, it's like every week he interviews like an actor or director or whatever, and they do like a couple of minutes. It's almost like B-roll or something, where it's like before they actually start like the main interview, they're just kind of chatting. And it's like, it's brilliant. It's like little insightful things into what these people say, like outside of the usual just interview circuit. Like Christian Bale just talking to Chris Tapley about the like LA wildfires and stuff like that. Just random little things. And Daniel Kaluuya and him are talking about Sundance, and he, like Chris Tapley saying, I saw Hereditary, and Daniel Kaluuya's like, oh, that's the A24 one, isn't it? And it's just like the fact that this actor knew which distributor it was. Yes, it was the Cool distributor, but that was putting it out and like saying, oh, did you see X? And he was like, oh, no, I didn't have time to go see that. And yeah, I know him asking Chris Tapley, the variety guy, did you see X? And Chris Tapley saying, no, I didn't have time to see it. It's like, oh, that's a shame. I'm really looking forward to that. Stuff like that. It was just like, cool. Yeah, and like you say, I mean, if it's a job, then fine, but shit, man, I work in the pensions industry, and during my working hours, I'm pretty fucking passionate about my job, and it's not like, I don't know, it's like if you're doing a job and people are fucking paying you a fair wage and treating you right, I think having a little bit of, like, passion for the work, whatever the industry, is good. So when you got Eisenberg or a footballer saying, oh, I'm just good at this, it's like, fuck off.
Yeah, it is a little bit like that. I was very, very good at football, and I had my knees fucking turned round the wrong fucking way. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have been a Premier League footballer. I'm not pretending that I would have been, but I probably would have made a living out of it. And it's just like that little split second of a thing just fucking completely takes that away from you. And then you go, all right. And it's just like, that... It could happen to anybody. It could happen to any player. For instance, Steven Gerrard nearly had his toe removed when he was 13 years old because he was kicking a football out of a bush and there happened to be an old garden fork in there, and it stuck into his big toe, his right foot. And in the ambulance, they took him to the hospital in the ambulance, and somebody called somebody from the club who went to meet him at the hospital, and they said, right, we're amputating it. And the guy from the club literally came in and went, you are fucking not amputating that toe.
Yeah.
You are not. Right, work out another way around this. And they've said literally, had he got there an hour later, or even like half an hour later, they said, we'd have probably already started the procedure to amputate his toe. Jesus. But at that point, they were saying, no, don't. Let's work out another way to do it and sit down and go through it. And they said, and he said, the guy is what he said, he said, it wasn't the NHS weren't making a mistake. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, at a time, that was the best thing to do. But then they went, no, we need to look at a different way around this. It might be uncomfortable for Stephen, but trust me, he needs that fucking toe.
Wow.
And you think about that split second there, that could have been it. And how many different people's lives are different? It's crazy, isn't it? But yeah, there's not a lot else happening. I think the world has had a more pressing things to worry about this week.
Yeah. So quite. I don't think I've seen any trailers.
I've seen a couple. Okay. Let me just have a wee little look. I hadn't seen it last time, but I watched the trailer for Quiet Place.
What do you think of that?
I'm very much looking forward to it. It was really, really interesting. I know we spoke about it last week on the podcast because you mentioned that it was John Krasinski and Emily Blunt doing a what looks like a straight-up genre horror thrillery piece, which is really fucking interesting. But it's, like you say, it's high concept. And it's high concept from two people who you wouldn't normally put within that sphere. Makes you go, all right, there's clearly something there. That's not just a generic melodrama directed by a first-time director that's been an actor beforehand.
And sorry, I was just
there's definitely something there. The Forgiven, the new Roland Joffe film with Eric Bana and Forrest Whitaker in it.
Okay, all right. How's that looking? He did the remake of Brighton Rock, which was a bit shit, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a bit shit actually. Yeah. That wasn't it? God, yeah. I got given that on Blu-ray and never watched it. No, do you know what? I didn't get given that on Blu-ray. I bought that from Blockbuster, and Blockbuster closed down for £1.
Nice.
On That's Blu-ray. I don't think I paid £1. I think I paid like 80p.
That's the way.
Yeah, no, looks interesting. It's set in South Africa, post-apartheid. Eric Bana plays a psychopathic criminal who they're trying to extract information out of. It looks quite interesting. What else? I've not watched that many, but there's been a couple. The Quiet Place, which I just mentioned, and Kings. The Hal Berry and Daniel Craig movie set in LA in the early 90s, just after the Rodney King beatings.
This was one where it was a little bit like, if this is actually any good, it will pick up a distributor and be released in the Oscar season that we're currently going it through. So it kind of
looks the trailer looks fucking great.
Okay. All right.
Trailer. I was a bit like, when it first starts, Bex went, Hal Berry, and I was like, you leave Hal Berry alone. She's like an African American Ashley Judd. You leave her alone. And so
we need to do an Ashley Judd marathon.
I will happily marathon Ashley Judd.
You fucking program that shit, and
I
why not?
Will.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, are we gonna go on a journey? We're gonna go on a journey with the Juddathon.
All right, we'll do the Juddathon. Go on.
Yes. Nice.
Okay.
I'll send you details. There's some fucking quality watching there. And it looks really good actually. It's the trailer sort of starts off and it looks a little bit little bit all over the place, but then once it starts to focus itself, it looks like it could be quite something to watch. But then again, is it just going to be a tight trailer where the movie actually gets too scattered and doesn't quite tries to say? Sometimes these movies can try and say too much at once and end up not saying the right things or not saying things in the right way, things like that. It's a touchy subject, but it's the trailer's definitely done what they're supposed to do, and it's made me go, yeah, I want to watch that.
Good stuff. Okay, that sounds good.
Cool. Right. Shall we get into some films, films that we've watched and we can review? Shall we get into The Shape of Water? Because it's been like 8 years since you watched it.
I watched that film before February started.
Yes.
And February ends
weeks.
next week. Fuck.
Yeah. Right. So Ian, can you remember? It's a Guillermo del Toro movie.
Uh-huh.
It's not Hellboy. And it's not Pan's Labyrinth. So, so it's Guillermo del Toro. Stars Sally Hawkins, Michael Shannon, Richard Jenkins, Michael Stuhlbarg, Octavia Spencer. And did you know, because nobody fucking seems to mention it, it also stars Doug Jones. Have you noticed that? And can I just raise something just before we get into the actual film, and I'll go into the brief synopsis of the film. So quite rightly so, many people have started bringing up the idea of Andy Serkis and other actors starting to be considered for awards for motion capture. And I think we'd both agree Serkis' performance as Caesar over the 3 Planet of the Apes movies has been quite something. It's been a brilliant performance, and it's very much an acting performance there, right? And that's motion capture. So the motion capture has come along in incredible leaps since the Lord of the Rings movies to where we are now, and it was already very intricate then. Doug Jones is in a suit. He's in a suit. That is an acting performance. Now, do you think? I'm going on basically the physicality of Doug Jones, because that's what it is. It's a physicality performance. Let's say that's not Doug Jones in that suit. Let's say it's Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm talking similar physicality. Not exactly, but similar in terms of stature, etc. Do you think people will be talking about it more?
Well, yeah.
It's that, isn't it? It's just because it's Doug Jones. He's not a recognisable face, etc., and everything like that. But we'll get more into the actual film. So it's set. When is it set? 62.
Yeah, it was
during the Cold War.
Yeah.
And you've got Octavia Spencer and Sally Hawkins. Sally Hawkins is mute from birth. I'm pretty sure it's mentioned within the film. She's mute from birth, but she's clearly intelligent. And she communicates by sign language. She lives next door to Richard Jenkins, who is a artist of some description, but not. He's a commercial artist rather than a arty artist, we'll say. Sally Hawkins and Octavia Spencer work at a facility, and very early in the film, the merman, amphibian man, played by Doug Jones, is brought into the facility by Michael Shannon and Michael Stuhlbarg. Michael Shannon is the essentially captor and the enforcer of this. And Michael Stuhlbarg is the doctor that is there to research and actually learn from him. We'll go more into the intricacies of that. And remember, guys, we are all spoilers all of the time. So it was kind of strange. So I remember when we reviewed the trailer for this, we kind of said, this is weird. It's just kind of arrived, and there's a new Guillermo del Toro movie, and it's out fairly soon, and nobody's fucking talking about it. And then we fast forward 4 months, and every fucking body is talking about it. Ian, what did you think of Shape of Water?
Yeah, I loved it, and I think it will probably be my film of the year at the end of the year. The style of it had me from the very start. I mean, yes, it is basically its most base thing. It is a woman who really needs a shag.
Fucking.
And the merman provides it. You will believe a merman can fuck. And it's... I think it's beautiful. It's about a gang of outsiders coming together to help two outsiders find love with each other. You know, the gay artist, the black cleaner, who in another time would both have much different lives, you feel like. Coming together with the mute woman who in another time would have a different life, to help her fuck a merman and be with the merman. And yes, there is, you know, there is that kind of like base carnal thing there, but I think there is something more beautiful there where they do have a connection. I think Michael Shannon is a fantastic, just weird, creepy, left of centre bad guy, but a bad guy who has been formed by his socialization. He's not just evil, he's been brought up in such a way that certain pressures are placed on him. But it's like he wants to be the outsider, but he can't do it almost just because the way he's been brought up, and like the way he has sex is weird, you know, and it's an in-depth, I don't know, but this film was made for $19 million, which kind of staggers me. I think it's gorgeous. I think
shitting hell.
Yeah. And it annoys me that people are like, I don't know, it annoys me that people are saying Get Out should win Best Picture. Like, this is pure cinema. And it's a weird mix of both traditional Oscar-y stuff and a woman's fucking a merman genre stuff. But I flipped for it. I think it's Del Toro's best. Like, out of everything, even Spanish language.
Out of everything?
Yeah. I think it's a guy working at the top of his craft. Everybody involved in it are working at the top of their craft. I don't know how they couldn't be for that budget, frankly. And I found it incredibly moving. And yeah, I pray that you at least liked it.
I'll tell you what, I didn't expect for the film to open with Sally Hawkins jerking off in the bath. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't expect that, really, quite honestly. Mm-hmm. I think it was captivating. I thought it was lovely. Cool. I thought it was a really a really beautiful film in terms of the sheer. There's something that you often reference in movies that has, over the years we've been doing the podcast, has really made me start to take notice of it more. It's something that I noticed before, but now I really I look for it and start to notice it, in the sense that the world feels lived in. Everything looks like it's been there. Mm-hmm. Like if there's a panel on the wall, it doesn't look like that panel was put there 4 hours before and painted 2 hours before by a props team and by the art direction team and everything like that. Mm-hmm. It looks like it's been there for years, and it's been banged into by brooms, and it's been opened and it's had to be used, and it's got a little bit of wear on it and everything like that. It looks like that. The art direction of this movie is quite something. I think it's. But then again, you kind of expect that with Del Toro. He is he fills the fucking frame of every single shots within his movies. Things are there for a reason. If there's a phone off the hook in the back shot of something, you get the idea that phone isn't off the hook for no reason. Del Toro's sat there and gone, can we put that phone off the hook? Why? I just want it off the hook. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't know why, I just do. Can we... Oh, there's a kitchen scene. Oh, can we have we've got a blue plate there. Can we put a green plate there? He seems like that's what he does. It's a man who who loves what he's doing and wants to show everything. There's a craft there. It's not, right, cut, shoot, fuck, done, let's move on. It's, right, I want to get this perfect so that my actors, I'm not going to be pissing my actors off by going, can we just do this? Can we just do this? He's there for the fucking long haul. And that's what this movie is. It's luscious. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was.
It is properly laugh out loud funny.
Yeah, it is, and it's charming, and there's so much going on within it. A mild criticism of it I have is that there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and I just think that I wouldn't have minded, and maybe this is budget constraints or just tightness constraints or anything like that. I wouldn't have minded having another 20, 25 minutes, and we don't often say that about movies on the podcast. We often say they're too long. But I could quite easily have spent another half an hour within this world, just exploring a little bit more, getting a little bit more padding to the characters. There's some bits where people say something, I go, I want to know why that's happened. I want to know that. I want to know that story. And I suppose that's creates the interest within it, and it creates the intrigue within it for that. But yeah, I was really quite taken by it. I think it's I was worried, I'll be honest. Not that it wasn't really good, because it's Guillermo del Toro, and I've not found a movie of his that I've not really got on with, except for Crimson Peak, which I think I need to give a rewatch to.
I would say, yeah, you've only watched it the once, haven't you?
I've only watched it the once, and I think I went in with it maybe a little bit expectations too high, and expected 9, and I got 7, but because I expected 9, it actually went down. I watched it again, I go, do you know what? I got more out of it that time.
I believe Del Toro when he says that he made that as a gothic romance and they marketed it like a horror film. I do believe him. I've said in the past that, come on now, Crimson Peak is a horror film. It does have its scary stuff, but it was the marketing, I genuinely think, that made me go into that film with an expectation of it being something that it wasn't, and that I do believe that clouded my judgment on it.
Yeah. I think with this, acting-wise, like you said, everyone's on top of the game. Sally Hawkins is fantastic. Sally Hawkins. The thing is with it, you can say what I'm about to say about Sally Hawkins about everybody in this film is Sally Hawkins is fantastic in it, but that's Sally Hawkins. She's fantastic in everything. Michael Shannon is fantastic, but Michael Shannon is fantastic in everything. And it is, when Shannon does this type of role, it's not cardboard cut out. It's not just generic stock Michael Shannon does, that role. Because he's done roles like this before. Revolution Road was very similar to this. His role in
8 Mile, very similar.
Boardwalk Empire, similar to this.
Yeah.
He can do that. If you want somebody who can be terrifying just as a physical force presence, Michael Shannon is very good at that, but there's differences between them all. He's not just, it's not a stock character. There's little subtleties to him within this, and there's a character there. There's an ego and an eccentricity, and the thing about his character, like you were saying, is he's just a prick. He's just a prick, but even pricks can have moments where they're not pricks.
I don't know. He has some pretty fucking pricky moments.
Oh yeah, he does, and I think that overall, I think he's a prick. But there's clearly a person there who occasionally isn't a prick. He's maybe not that much of a prick to his kids. He's maybe quite nice to his kids. But it's just, he is just a prick. Richard Jenkins is clearly carrying a lot of fucking baggage within this movie. Stolberg, I like the fact that he doesn't just go generic Mother Russia. He's very much like, look, yes, I'm a patriot, but I also, more than that, I'm a scientist. I want to study this. I thought the breakout scene, I thought his performance within that breakout scene was fantastic.
Yeah.
The fact that he just goes, straight away, right, I'm going to help you. Straight away. It's just, he doesn't have to think about it. There's nothing like that. It's just, right, I don't know why you're doing it, but what you're doing gets me what I think should happen. So let's do it.
Yeah. No, I mean it's that element of the plot is interesting because at first it does kind of feel like, all right, fine, there's a Russian interloper in there, and okay,
it feels a little bit, yeah.
But then that's the thing. There are the shades of grey there. It's like he is in it for the science. But he's in it for Russia, then he's in it for the science, then he's in it for his own moral compass. It's
and the fact that
change.
The fact that he's tired of all of the bureaucratic fucking bumwiffery of all of the meetings and shit like that, the fact that he's so clearly just pissed off with that is quite charming.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he's fantastic, and I think the score is lovely. The fucking imagery in this film is just like when they flood the room and the water coming down into the cinema. It's just. I mean, there was the whole thing about Jean-Pierre Jeunet saying, "Well, he's ripped off Delicatessen," and it's like the cinematography is very Jean-Pierre Jeunet in that time.
Well, it's quite interesting in the fact that when I first put the trailer on, Bex missed where it said a new film by Guillermo del Toro and came in like 10-15 seconds into it and went, is this a Jeunet film? I was like, no, it's del Toro. And she went, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It does have that look. But to say, oh, he's ripped me off, and it's like, well, no. The production design is different. The colours are similar, but the set dressing is different. It's a different world. It's a different setting. I mean, fuck, man, the story is nothing like a Jeunet film, and
It feels like a Del Toro movie. It doesn't feel like a Jeunet movie. There's not.
Yes.
The best way I can describe it is, and I don't mind Jeunet movies, and I've watched pretty much all of them. And the interesting thing is, I think, did Dan Lauston do the cinematography on Micmac? No, he didn't. Did he? No, he didn't. I don't think he did. No, he didn't actually. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm getting confused with stuff.
Sure.
But it didn't have that plinkety plonkety playfulness that I've always found that Micmac had. That Jeunet films have, where they're very French. This doesn't feel like that. This feels like you feel like you're watching a Del Toro movie.
Yeah, I mean, it feels non-American and it feels like it's got European influences. But I mean, the look of this film feels like the look of the guy who did Blade 2, frankly. I mean, I remember seeing Blade 2 back in the day and thinking, like, there's some interesting shit going on with, like, the colours in this film.
Yeah.
And I think you can trace its roots. I mean, this looks like the same guy who did Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
Yes, it very much does look like Hellboy 2.
Yeah, so, it just is, I don't know.
But it also looks like it. Do you know what else it looks like? It looks like it was by the same guy who did Kronos and the same guy who did Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
It looks like a Del Toro film. He's an altruistic filmmaker. I think I said about it when we watched Phantom Thread, and I said, what was amazing was the fact that within that first shot, I was there going, all right, yeah, I'm watching a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. There's just certain directors where you go, there's that. Fincher. Show someone a 30-second clip of a movie, and they're going to go, oh, is that a Fincher movie?
Yeah.
There's just a feeling behind them that they have.
When's Fincher going to make another fucking film? Sorry.
Oh, fucking, I know. I wake up thinking that every morning. But it does. It has that, and I can absolutely see, why, especially if you were as taken by it as you are. You kind of want to defend it and say, no, fuck you. Hang on a minute. No, right? No. Don't try and make yourself relevant again because nobody ever asked. Oh, I wonder when Jeunet is going to make a new movie.
Yeah, quite. It does feel like that.
It does. It's it's somebody's created something better than what I can create, and I want to try and latch my name onto it.
Yeah. It's upsetting. The thing is, I think this is going to be the film that Del Toro wins an Oscar for, and like I think he's winning Best Director. I'm very up in the air about whether this wins Best Picture.
I just don't think it's going to, based on the fact that it's a preferential ballot.
Yeah, that's exactly
I think
it.
There'll be people who I could see a few having it at 1 and a few having it at 2 and 3, but I could also see a few having it at 7 and 8.
There's going to be a lot of people who have it at 7, 8, 9. There are. That's
I don't think anyone has a bit at 9. I think anyone that have this that would have this at 9 will actually put something else at 9.
The thing is, if you're a steak eater, which is what a lot of... Okay, slight tangent. Listening to a podcast I listen to, Little Gold Men, which again is actually a variety podcast.
Yeah.
And they had a guy on this week who basically scientifically analyses this stuff based on the preferential balloting and whatnot. And he's been very, very good at predicting the Best Picture winner over the last few years. And he's basically said that the winner of the Oscar will be, for the Best Picture, will be the one that has the least between 5 and 9, I think he said.
Yeah, that's just maths.
Fair enough. So, and he was saying he thinks Dunkirk's going to do it.
No, it won't.
No, I don't think it will. It was Dunkirk or... I think he said Get Out. Dunkirk will Get Out. And because the thing is, the steak eaters... I think... There's nothing as weird as The Shape of Water out of any of them. You know, you could maybe... Not weird, but kind of arty. You could maybe argue Phantom Thread.
Yeah.
So, you know...
But Phantom Thread has... On its surface, Phantom Thread, not actually if you actually watch it, but on its surface has a commanding, powerful man.
Yeah, there you go. But so it's like, what is going to be... Because they say apparently it's like literally the one that has the fewest votes at number 1. Actually, just to kind of actually formalise this tangent, were we kind of done with Shape of Water? Because I kind of feel like we might have been for now.
And I definitely not shit. It's a fascinating piece of work. Can I ask you one quick question though, on it that I'm very interested for somebody who, and I am very glad that you enjoyed it as much as you did, because I really, really enjoyed it. It sounds like it didn't quite get me as much as you, but I think it is a very... if it wins the Oscar, I'll be saying, do you know what? I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, sure.
Is it my favourite out of the Best Picture nominated films? Maybe. It might be. It might be. I'd have to think about it a little bit more.
Have you got any more to watch?
I've got Call Me By Your Name still to watch.
Darkest Hour?
Darkest Hour, yeah.
You seen Lady Bird? Oh, you have seen Lady Bird. Sorry, yes, you have. Lady Bird I'm seeing this weekend. That's my last one. So, yeah,
we'll be reviewing that next week, won't we, with Mute? Yeah. So, it's with that, looking at it, saying, do you know what? It's probably the one I'd be happiest to win, just because it would re-cement people saying about Del Toro, not about, well, he needs to make a hit.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? He needs to make a hit. Can we remember that Pacific Rim did make money, it just didn't make it in the US? Well, yen and euros, they still count. You know, Hollywood don't go, oh, we don't want that. No, it's not dollars. It's not dollars, we don't want it. Fuck off. You know, it still fucking counts. And it as well, it just feels like it's a group of very, very talented people making a very, very good movie, and so is Three Billboards. But this movie wasn't made to win an Oscar. They didn't sit down to make this movie and go, we're making a movie to win an Oscar. The Darkest Hour they did. I don't care what people say.
No. I've seen The Darkest Hour. I would agree with you.
Yeah,
the fucking
I've
scene,
seen it.
the scene on the tube in The Darkest Hour is fucking Oscar as it comes.
It literally is.
Fuck.
It literally is. The Darkest Hour. They sat down with Gary Oldman's agent. Sat down and gone, right. Joe Wright wants you to play Winston. Sold. It gets him my Oscar, and he knows. He literally knows from signing on to do it that he's going to win an Oscar for it. There you go. Whereas this isn't. It is cinema. Like you said, it's cinema.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't know what I would rather have. There's nothing I'd rather have win best. The thing is, I want Del Toro to win best director. I'm almost not that bothered if it wins best picture, because I know there's a good chance something else could win best picture and it's fine. I want Del Toro to be up on that stage winning an award that is solely for him.
None of the other filmmakers that are there to collect a best director are going to feel a little bit, about it. All of them will be, do you know what? Yeah, congratulations. We're very, very happy for you.
Yeah,
because he's a filmmaker's filmmaker.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a feel with Nolan, he's more likely to be in that position again than Del Toro is, just because Del Toro is so much more genre-y.
And I genuinely don't think Nolan gives a shit. I think I've said it before. I think he'd like to win one. I think he'd be very happy to win one. I think that if he wins one, he'll be very happy. But if Del Toro wins, he'll be like, do you know what? I really like Shift, but I'm really happy for him.
I would suggest the amount of press and screenings that Nolan has been attending, he does give a shit.
I think he gives a shit about the film. I don't think
that's
it's a burning thing.
That's the point. I think he'd like it
film.
Though. Like,
I think he'd like it, but I think it's not like it's not like when Will Smith was desperately trying to just take things that might get him an Oscar.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's picking projects he's thinking I'll get an Oscar for. But I think once he's on the trail, I think he works it.
Well, before we get into the point we're going to get to, I'll just quickly do Shape of Water. Definitely not shit. 77%. Touching Gloss 8% and shit 15%.
All right, that's fine. How many votes?
So the end of it. Do you think that Elisa and Merman live happily ever after the sea?
I think it might be a little bit Pan's Labyrinth-y. I wonder if it's a fucking fantasy. I want to see it again, but I do wonder whether they
do you know what?
Both just fucking die. Like
Richard Jenkins says, I'm happier to believe they do.
Oh no, I'm happier to believe they do, but I do wonder.
No, I'm there for. There you go.
It's just Pan's Labyrinth, man. She's fucking dead. You know what I mean? So
she's dead. With this, I'm willing to trade the kid's dead for she becomes a merlady.
Yeah.
I'm willing to trade that.
Yeah.
Go on, we can get that point.
No, that was good. I enjoyed that, and we'll talk more about Shape of Water in Oscarbation. So, I was going to say, yeah. So basically, the first round of the voting counting is basically who got the least number ones. So who's going to get the least number ones? The Post or Darkest Hour?
Darkest Hour.
Yeah. I mean, like, or maybe Call Me By Your Name is what this guy was saying. And it's like, yeah, all right, then fair enough. But I do think there's a lot of people who are pretty passionate about Call Me By Your Name.
Call Me By Your Name will get some number ones. We'll get more number ones than The Post, and it'll get more number ones than The Darkest Hour.
You would think so, wouldn't you? So,
yeah, I'd be very surprised.
And then it kind of starts going down from there, really. But then, when the number one gets taken away, then it becomes like, okay, well, move the number twos up from anyone who had that one as number one up to number one. So then it's like, all right, well, if The Post or Darkest Hour get moved out, then Dunkirk is gonna be moving up. So you're gonna have, because the people who voted highly for Darkest Hour or The Post are probably going to be voting highly for Dunkirk as well.
Yep.
So then Dunkirk is kind of up there. So then it then becomes the 4-3-2s kind of like shoving up into one, and then the people who had like Get Out, or not Get Out, like Call Me by Your Name, say, as number one, or maybe even Lady Bird as number one or something. A lot of other people have them down in the 6, 7, 8s or something, so they're not quite rising up. And so it's like the placement order is almost a thing there. And that gives it the argument that maybe because Dunkirk might not have a lot of ones, but it's probably going to have a fuckload of 2, 3, 4s.
I think Dunkirk will have a lot of 3, 4s and 5s. I think the reason why 3 Billboards is a better chance is it will have more 1, 2, 3s.
But Americans don't seem to like 3 Billboards as much as we do.
But filmmakers, actors, writers, directors, like all of the people that are involved.
But Martin McDonagh hasn't been nominated for Best Director.
No, he hasn't, but he has been nominated for Best Writer, and I think he's seen more as a writer who happens to direct.
But screenplay has 10 slots, director only has 5, so how far up in the screenplay selection out of the 10 actually is he?
Right. I'm going to throw out something that might sound controversial, but I'm going to put it out there. Right? Martin McDonagh's Black, does he get nominated for Best Director over Jordan Peele?
Shit. Well, I don't think we can answer that question, Mark.
I think, but you know, and listeners should know me by now, where I'm coming from with that question.
Mm-hmm.
In the time that we're in and everything like that, I'm not saying that Jordan Peele only got nominated. I think that Martin McDonagh isn't seen as a director. I think he's seen as a writer. I think that there was a quite rightly so, a push to nominate a person of colour and a female for director, and therefore they decided to go for Jordan Peele and for Greta Gerwig for that there, and that meant that they were already, it was shortening the amount of people that can be nominated, and I think that part of that, whether or not it's deserved or not, and I'm not saying it is or isn't, I think Martin McDonagh, therefore, because he's seen more as a writer, which I think you could also claim is true, is Get Out a better directed movie than 3 Billboards? And I think you can argue that with the way that the things like the Sunken Place goes and things like that, there are more directorial flourishes within Get Out than there are in 3 Billboards. It's quite a standardised directorial. He's quite a standard director. His strength is in his writing. And I think he handles, as a director, his writing better.
Yeah, I mean, if you are asking me, is 3 Billboards a better directed film than Get Out, I would say yes.
That's fair enough.
If that is the question, I would say yes. Yeah. So there you go. But I don't know. Would I say Wonder Woman is a better directed film than 3 Billboards? Maybe.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. Fuck it. I don't think I'm right there.
I still don't think. I thought Wonder Woman was all right. I still, as a directorial film, I don't think it's that well directed. I just don't. I've tried with it a couple of times, and I have too many issues with it. I think it's a well-handled movie. Doesn't mean it's a well-directed movie.
Okay, fair enough. No, I mean, it's an interesting question.
Ryan Coogler handles a troubled third act a lot better than Patty Jenkins.
That's true. Even though at least Wonder Woman, like as Norwood pointed out, which thinking on it is a fair point, at least Wonder Woman isn't Wonder Woman versus Wonder Woman in different armour.
No, she's not, but it's a horrible looking...
No, don't get me wrong. The third act of Wonder Woman is not great.
No, it's not.
So that's the thing that palpably takes that film down.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Shall we move on? I'm going to get a drink.
Yep.
So she'll be back in a second. What time are you good till, by the way?
I'm good till about 9 o'clock.
Okay, all right, cool. Right, back in a sec. Oh, fuck me, sideways. Right, okay. Right, where am I? Sorry about that. Right. Hello.
Hello.
Cool. Right. Fire away, sir.
Shall we do Magnolia next?
Why not?
Yep. Right, so Magnolia. I said we decided to do a retro review of a Paul Thomas Anderson film to coincide with Phantom Thread. But then we ran out of time, either of us, to watch Magnolia.
It's fucking long.
And Magnolia won the vote. We were both actually really... We spoke about this and said we were both really looking forward to rewatching Magnolia because it gives us an excuse to... or an impetus to kind of rewatch it because it is so long. It's not one of those films that you can kind of pick up and go, oh, I fancy watching Magnolia this weekend because you've got to essentially... You know, I usually start watching movies around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. But then I get up at 7 in the morning. So I want to be finished. The reason why I start watching movies is most movies are around 2 hours to 2 and a bit hours long. And therefore, it takes me to about midnight, which is around about when I go to bed. So watching Magnolia, it's like, well, I've got to finish work, pick up, get home, get dinner done, get all the other stuff I've got to get done. And I've got to be sat down by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, which is difficult. Ian's got a child, so it's more difficult for him. I have a child, my child's older. So it's more difficult for him to kind of get into the position where you can sit down and watch Magnolia for 3 hours. And also as well, I'm guessing you watched it in a couple of drops, did you?
Yeah. Oh shit, man. Yeah. I had to. What did I do? I watched it 3 separate train journeys and then like about an hour and a half of it in a row.
Yeah, I watched all of it in a row last night. But that was because I could have watched it over a couple of nights, but I wanted to watch it all in one shebang. Because it's been a while since I watched it, and so I've been looking forward to giving it a rewatch. So yeah, 1999, Paul Thomas Anderson's follow-up to Boogie Nights, where essentially it was quite a, look, this guy's hot shit, what's the fuck's he going to do next? And he gave us Magnolia, a 3 hours, 8 minutes unbelievable epic is what you'd say. You know, a cast of what you got Tom Cruise in there, Melinda Dillon, Philip Baker Hall, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Ricky Jay, William H. Macy, Julianne Moore, John C. Reilly, and a lot of other kind of character actors, that guy from That Thing kind of style actors. Ian, Magnolia, what are your thoughts some 18, 19 years later?
Yeah, okay, so I'd only seen this the once before. And,
Had you? Wow.
Yeah.
It's a long film.
Yeah, it is a commitment. I
saw it in the cinema.
Oh, God, jeez, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I did, yeah. I went to see it on my own in the cinema, and I remember the screening started at after 10 o'clock.
Oh, Christ.
I didn't get out till like 1:30, 2 in the morning.
DL.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it reminds me of when I started a test print of Curse of Benjamin Button. That would be a film. The Curious Case
I'd watch that again.
Yeah, Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Test screened it 11 o'clock at night, and it was a winter release, and the aircon in that screen was done. Okay, Lottie is shouting at me. Okay, I think Don's trying to... Right, okay, fine. She's very excited to play Mario Kart. So,
very good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Fuck, what's I say? Yeah, and like the aircon was like broken, and it was fucking like we literally closed that screen because it was too cold in there, and that was very, very, very cold. Second coldest I've ever been, I think, next to when we went to Copenhagen in February. That was... oh, these return flights are only 50 quid. That's ridiculous. Oh, we found out why. But anyway. I went to the Carlsberg Brewery. It was all right. Anyway, good brewery tour, actually.
I've heard that, actually.
We were talking about Magnolia, weren't we?
Magnolia, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, no, it's I really like Magnolia. I don't think it's PTA's best. It's
I have an interesting thing to say on that.
Okay, all right. I there is material in here which I think could cut things down a bit. I think that the revelations with Philip Baker Hall's character later on, like why his kid hates him, and just like then it kind of focuses on his wife for a bit. It does feel a bit like, all right, is this actually drama for drama's sake here? Is it not enough that he's fucking dying, but he's also maybe a child molester, but he can't remember? It is Philip Baker Hall, isn't it? I'm not going mad. Yeah.
No,
yeah. For some reason I was getting him and Jason Robards confused, and I don't know why. So there's that, and I think that the TV show Kid as well. It's really focused on him for like the first 2 hours or so, and then he's barely in it for the last hour. Yeah. So there may be a bit of pacing issues there, but I think it's ballsy as fucking shit. Like everybody singing along to "Wise Up," because it's not like it's a well-known song or anything. No. Wasn't it an original composition for this film?
It was an original composition for this, yeah.
That is fucking crazy.
And it's not like Amy Mann at the time was a huge star either.
No, and the film just completely stops for like 3 or 4 minutes while these people sing this song, and it makes sense in the context of the film. They're all at a similar point.
It does. It's almost like an end of an act.
Yeah, and
then the shit's about to fucking hit the fan.
No, absolutely. And one of the things I noticed about this, kind of up until that point, actually, is how it's basically it's like individual montages where you've got things happening and music kind of building up in the background, and up and up and up and up, and then there's like some sort of release, and then it calms down, and then the music builds up and up and up and up, and then there's a release. And then that seems to end with the Amy Mann song. And yeah, it's an insanely assured film. Like Boogie Nights is. I mean, like the camera move with the camera going into the pool and whatnot, it's like this guy knows what he's fucking doing. It's only his second film. And then you've got Magnolia, which is just really ambitious and just kind of insane in its scope. But it does generally work. It's a very, 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 very good film. There are PTA films I would place higher than it.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see what you thought. Sorry, man. I thought that was. Forgive me. Yeah.
I'd agree with you. There are. Peter Paul has made better films than Magnolia, but I do think that as it stands, Magnolia is like his fucking opus. It's not his best film, but it's his most. It's not even his most accomplished movie, but it's the movie, and I think he's very much directed that he doesn't work to any parameters. He either gets his own way or he doesn't fucking bother. There's no, would you mind doing that? Yeah, I would. I'm not going to do that. Oh, well, then we can't really do this. Okay, then we won't do it. Simple as that. I won't make it if we can't. He will only make the movie he wants to make. And I think that Magnolia is him at the peak creativity, not even the height of his creativity, but peak creativity and confidence, and has just gone boom. You thought fucking Boogie Nights was big, fucking have this.
Yeah.
Bang. I think he's commented on it himself now. He mentioned that he rewatched it some years later, I think it was only a couple of years ago when Inherent Vice came out. I saw an interview with him, or read an interview, or listened to a podcast. Maybe Bret Easton Ellis, where he said that he watched a cut of Magnolia in a cinema. He'd gone to see it. He'd noticed it was playing, and he'd walked by and gone in to see it. And so he was watching it, just going, "Oh my God, why didn't I cut that? Why is that in the fucking movie?" And said, I'm never going to do it, but if I was to recut it, I'd maybe shave 20 minutes out of it quite easily. He said it is fucking horrifically long. I think is what he said.
Wow. Okay.
On it, and he said, I'd maybe shave 20 minutes, half an hour, and it'd still be a really long movie, but it'd be a more polished movie, and it'd work better, and it's fine. But that's now. At the time, it made sense. It was like, look, we're giving you, the new. This is the new hot shit director. Not the hot shit pop culture director that you had with Tarantino. This is the hot shit fucking auteur director. This is your new Altman.
Yeah.
Having.
Yeah.
And that's what we got, and it is him at his most Altman. It's like he was fucking, like he just had on the background, wasn't even watching it, but on the background, Shortcuts was playing just in the background on a fucking TV as he's writing this. And that's what's going on, and there's just so much going on. Like you say, there's these crescendos that happen, and then bang, they thunder down to it. It's so fucking cocky, but it's not cocksure. It's just, look, I'm really fucking good. I know I'm really fucking good, but I'm not going to be a prick about it. But I'm just gonna enjoy being really fucking good at being a filmmaker in the way that Scorsese does. Yeah. In the way that Scorsese will do something, and someone might go, "I'm not sure about that, Marty. How does it make sense?" And he will literally go, "Sorry, are you directing this or am I directing this? It doesn't need to make sense to you. It makes sense to me." And then when it goes into the editing, it goes into the cut, and it gets to the movie, everyone goes, yeah. That's why you're the director and I'm not. And that's what Paul Thomas Anderson is. Yeah. It's the whole thing feels like one melodrama set piece.
Yeah.
For 3 hours.
Yeah.
For 3 fucking hours. And that's what it is. It's fantastic performances. I love the opening. The Ricky Jay is perfect.
Oh yeah.
That Ricky Jay's voice is perfect. That opening to this movie. And I remember going to see it in the cinema and sitting down, and I was on my own. I think there was maybe one other person on the screen, or I might have been on my own. And I remember sitting down, and I had a small thing of popcorn. Back when a small thing of popcorn was actually small in 1999.
Yeah.
And I had that, and I had a small Coke, which was still fucking huge. And I went, right, here we go, because nobody had come to watch Magnolia with me. What? Fucking Saturday night, and it's fucking 3 hours long. What's it about? Well, it's about... Fuck off, no. So sat down, watched it, and I think some of my friends went to see something else around the same time that wasn't Magnolia. Bex won't come to see it with me. I remember it opened, and I just went, yeah, I've made the right decision. This is going to be fucking brilliant. And yeah, loved it. Going back and watching it near 20 years later, and I do think that Cruise is incredible in it. I think it's a fantastic performance from Tom Cruise. He's so... It's cockiness personified, and it's a role that you can look at and go, it's so made for Tom Cruise to do that role at that time.
Yes, it's that confident, cocky, something broken on the inside thing that you kind of wish Cruise did more often. Like, it just, because he does take roles where he is just hot shit. You know, and every now and then he kind of does other roles. But even like American Made, it's like his character is kind of just like really cool, and even when he's going in the doldrums, he's still really cool. And, you know, it's fine because he's Tom Cruise. But it's, you know...
I actually rewatched American Made this week.
Oh, yeah? Which bit?
Yeah. It fucking holds up. Really holds up. I enjoyed it as much on a rewatch as I did on the first watch.
I like that film. And I'm looking forward to a rewatch, but it is kind of light and breezy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a comedy. There's no getting away from it. American Made is a comedy that happens to have occasional moments of peril.
Yeah, there you go. So... occasional moments of peril could be BFC guidelines for that film. But yeah, I mean, in the way that his openings, you know, respect the clock, tame the cunt, versus him like red-eyed and crying over Jason Robards, you know. I mean, like, the fact that he goes from the one place to the other in that space of time is a hell of a thing. And that transformation in that interview with that reporter.
Oh, well, he goes, and he goes silent on her, and
I'm judging you.
I think the great speech that he gives in that is the bit where, after the interview's over, and he gets up and he basically says, "I told you I'd give you my time, and I gave you my time."
Yeah.
And he's angry that she's found out.
Yeah.
And that she's had the audacity to do that, and it's the moment where he leans in on her and she reacts. At that moment, he's surprised. It's to him, it's, I've lost control. And his whole thing is about control. And it's fuck, I know why I've lost control. It's because the father is the fucking touch paper for him. It's that. And then when he gets there, the brilliant line there is, it's a line that's always stuck with me, is, Bill, if those dogs coming near me, I will fucking drop kick them. And the fact that he kicks out at one of them, he doesn't kick it, but he does kick out at one of them when he's walking in, is brilliant, because the movie Magnolia does have moments of just funny levity. You don't need braces, Donny. Teeth are fine, Donny. You don't need braces.
Yeah.
And then a minute later, you've got him breaking, completely breaking, but it's breaking with rage.
Oh yeah,
he's got so angry at everything, that he's completely just broken, and all he can do is just tense. He's not screaming at him. It's not an overdramatic moment. It's just tension. He doesn't know what to do. He can't control anything. And for a man who writes a book about controlling everything, it's that fucking.
That's a great point.
It's the broken. He's been so brought down and so brought back because he hates him, but he's grieving for him. He's angry because it's what happened to his mother, and he's saying to him, "You fucking deserve this." But he also doesn't want him to be in the pain. There's every chink in his armor is being exposed, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's performance in the background of that is quite something as well. But you get the feeling that that's not a performance. He's just a little bit like, "Fuck, Cruise is taking this somewhere."
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna stand and watch, because this is this is good, and it's not something that you kind of almost expect from Cruise. He's a movie star.
Absolutely. And speaking of Seymour Hoffman as well, I love that scene where he's on the phone and ordering those magazines.
Then saying, and you still want the peanut butter and the bread, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just the fact that he's like, and Playboy and have you got a Hustler? Yeah, no, we got a Hustler. Oh, and it's almost like he's really interested in the fact that they stock all these magazines. It's like he's not going to check it or anything. It's like, oh, well, that's a pleasant surprise. All right, well, great. It's just. No,
you get the feeling like that character has never bought a porn mag in his life.
That reminded me of the first time I bought FHM, and I remember it was their annual 100 Sexiest Girls in the World thing. And it was Cat Deeley on the cover. And like
I remember the one, yeah.
Oh, it was like silver and whatnot, man. And like fucking went over to the petrol station across the road from my house, and I just felt so like, are they actually gonna let me buy this? It's just like so nervous about it. And then oh shit, man. No, I remember because like the following, like that weekend, I think it was, there was an England-Brazil friendly at Wembley, and my school went, and I had that magazine with me, and like it was just all like a group of like 7 or 8 of us just fucking passing around the magazine and looking at the girls. Like it was fucking like I will remember that until the day I die. But just like fucking that cover, man, like Cat Deeley, my word, that. Yeah.
Was she sat on a chair?
I think you might be right.
Backwards to a chair, yeah.
I think, fuck, man. Yeah, you're right. What a fucking cover. And she kind of like had her top slightly undone. There was a little bit of boob and
yeah, I remember a quote from the interview in that.
Oh, go on.
It's not actually the cover for the one you're thinking of is the cover that I was thinking of was for Sky magazine. This is Cat Deeley one is her in her pants essentially. But one of the quotes things that they pull out, and obviously they have the interview, never quote thing pulled out that's in Big What Is It, where she says that she likes the idea that boys jerk off of her pictures of her.
Well, I did. Oh, shit, no, I just found it. Yeah, that's totally. Shit, I thought that was. No, hang on. No, that was the one, but it wasn't 100 Sexiest Women. Alright, fair enough. When was it then? Oh, when was that? Let's make me feel old. Oh, it's too low res for me to see the date on the thing. But yeah, no, see, black bikini and kind of hand on pants. Interesting. Anyway, and the other sections in this. You complete me, darling. How women spot a tosser.
Yeah, I remember that.
Cut out the quack, diagnose your illness and treat it. God stole our caravan when the weather turns really nasty. That plus autopsy art, zoom cameras, surf pants, and Natalie Imbruglia.
Autopsy art was that fucking guy that used to embalm dead bodies. That's now, I think, in prison.
Oh shit. Anyway,
yeah, wasn't he the artist that was featured in Casino Royale?
Oh shit! Bodyworks, Matt. Yeah. No,
yes.
Yep.
That autopsy art thing. That was an article about him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, fucking hell, that was a weird tangent.
That was a tangent, but yeah, I fucking chatted it to Cat Deeley in that magazine quite a few. I'm glad that she's happy with that. Anyway, Magnolia. It's definitely not shit.
Oh, it's definitely not shit. I'm glad that I rewatched it because it made me go, do you know what? This is a fucking... It's a force for me. And then to have, like I say, the confidence to go, yeah, frogs are going to fall from the sky. Mm-hmm. Sorry, what did you say, Paul? Yeah, frogs are going to fall from the sky. It sounds like you're saying frogs are going to fall from the sky. Yep. Okay, why? Why not? Okay, cool. Are you sure? Do you remember Boogie Nights? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, frogs going to fall from the sky. Okay. There you go. And I love the fact that Paul Thomas Anderson, I don't think has ever made a movie that has actually made money.
I would not be surprised, actually, yeah.
Yep. Yet, he will never go more than 4 or 5 years without directing a film.
No, No,
unless he actively wants to. But I would say that none of his movies have actually made money. Well, right, weirdly, okay, on his Wikipedia page, Hard Eight. These are just US figures. There Will Be Blood. That will have made money.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
And Boogie Nights will have done, but Magnolia didn't. Punch Drunk Love didn't. The Master didn't, did it? Inherent Vice definitely didn't. And Phantom Thread, I don't think has yet. No, Phantom Thread has not made money.
No, well, it might, though. It might.
It won't.
No, fair enough.
It won't. It's made, so far, off a 35 million budget, it's made less than 30 million.
That's fucking brutal.
But you know what? Megan Ellison is going to give every few years Paul Thomas Anderson between 30 and 60 million to make a movie, and that's what all he needs to make a movie. He doesn't need 200 million or 150 million or whatever. And people will go, do you know what? I will work for fucking scale. I will work for the $66,000 minimum that I can work for just to work with Paul Thomas Anderson.
I'll tell you what as well. Phantom Thread, it's got a 4K Blu-ray pre-order, which means 4K on iTunes, I reckon. It's Universal. It's going to be 4K. It's going to be a 4K DI because it's shot on film. It's going to look fucking amazing.
Fantastic. But yeah, so Magnolia, it is. Yeah, it's definitely not shit. It is still absolutely fantastic. And it's a film that could have only happened around the time it happened. And I think, but it also it isn't a time capsule of a movie, and I think that's quite something.
No, absolutely.
Our audience on Magnolia was definitely not shit 71%, touching cloth 7%, shit 0%, and God it's long 22%.
That's a fair comment.
Yeah.
I'm just putting up a poll about Cat Deeley. 2 ticks.
A poll?
Yeah.
Is that euphemism?
No.
Are you going back to having fun with Cat Deeley right now while we're recording?
Hang on. I didn't post it on the Dude and the Monkey one because I'm an idiot. But I just posted it on my Twitter. 29 minutes. We'll hopefully have the results at the end of the show.
Right, cool. I'm gonna go retweet that.
Cool.
Right. Shall we do 50 Shades Free? Because we might be running out of time for that much what we've been watching.
Breaking news, Joss Whedon has exited the Batgirl movie. Shocker.
Well, there's a fucking surprise. Didn't we actually call that last week on last week's show?
Yeah, I think that might have happened.
I'm pretty sure I said there is no fucking chance that cunt's going to end up doing that. Yeah, I just don't think the fucking Batgirl movie. What
Quote
is it?
from Whedon: Batgirl is such an exciting project, and Warner's DC such collaborative and supportive partners that it took me months to realise I really didn't have a story. Well done, Joss. Well done.
Joss Whedon, I collected money for months and then decided, do you know what? I didn't have a story.
Yeah, anyway.
Do you know what? Just to say, Warner DC, I don't have a Batgirl story either. I have no idea. So can I be listed to direct it and collect money for a little bit before I make it? That guy's not going to make another film.
You have to wonder.
For a start off, I don't think he's a filmmaker. He's made a few films. I don't think he's a filmmaker. I'm not saying I don't think he's capable of the craft of making films. He clearly is, but I don't think he sees himself as a filmmaker. I think he sees himself more as a showrunner and a writer.
We'll see.
So, yeah. 50 Shades Freed. We had to do it. We did the other two. We had to do the final part in the global phenomenon of 50 Shades Freed. Directed again by James Foley, who directed 50 Shades Darker. We pick up back pretty much where we left off, except they're now married.
Mark, no one cares.
They do. People care.
All right.
I care.
All right.
And then what happens? She goes back to work, and generic stock creepy guy, it turns out, is some kind of fucking genius. And he's got an obsession with the Greys, and he's doing all kinds of shit, but he might be having help. But then they go and have sex, and then stuff happens, and Rita Ora gets to say things in this one.
That's true.
To the point of where, I mean, we're all spoilers all the time. Someone went, hang on a minute, Rita Ora's saying shit. Please, somebody fucking gag her so she stops doing it. So... Mr. and Mrs. Grey will see you now, Ian. What did you think of 50 Shades Freed?
Yeah, I thought it was the worst one.
The final part of the trilogy.
Yeah, I thought it was the worst one. I thought the first one actually had some interesting shit to say about the submissive dominant stuff, and I thought it looked good, had some good production value. Second one had... an interesting thriller element to it.
I rewatched the second one this week as well.
You did, yes.
I bought it on iTunes.
Yeah, what do you think of it?
I really enjoyed it again, actually, yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, this one, it's notable only for him showing her a private jet and her saying, "You own this." You just married the fucking... You just married...
He says in the second one that he owns an airline.
He married a billionaire. He owns an airline. Why is that a surprise? Also, for the... I was looking for you. I thought I might find you here. What, in the fridge eating ice cream? Like, yeah. Also, and the passive aggressive assistant who's in two scenes, who is unmasked as the sketchy guy's assistant.
She's in the first one as well. She's in the second one as well.
Yeah, I'm sure she is.
She's not the assistant. She's the HR manager.
All right, fine, whatever. That's cool. It's basically, I mean, like, I don't know. The sex isn't that interesting. There's a lot of Johnson's Dakotas, but not a lot of Dornan's Johnson. I feel bad. I asked Rhiannon, a girl on my team, I asked her, did you actually feel particularly satisfied by any of these films in relation to the Jamie Dornan? She said, no, Charlie Hunnam was my Mr. Grey.
But they shouldn't have pissed him off.
But they shouldn't, yeah, exactly. And, I feel bad for fans of the franchise, of the books, because they want to have a fun, sexy time, and they get a lot of Johnson's Dakotas. And you know what? I like Johnson's Dakotas. We've seen a lot of Johnson's Dakotas. Let's have some fucking dick bulge. Let's have some cock. The rest of it, whatever. The thriller plot that comes into the end. I love the way that Grey is just completely fucking inert. It's like he's just in a car being driven, and then he's too late to save his wife. And I like the fact that she's the one who actually shoots Blokey. Hyde, by the way. Yep. Hyde, for fuck's sake. I like that. I like that she's in control of her own...
She's not saved.
Yeah, she's in control of her own agency there, but also her husband is fucking horrific to her. Like, that scene where he is drunk and literally says to their unborn child, "Oh, you're the intruder, you're going to take her away from me." And she forgives him for that.
Can I point you to the fact that you thought that the "fuck you baby" thing in The Night Before was quite funny?
But he doesn't actually mean it.
He says "fuck you baby, you cunt."
But he doesn't mean it. He's just freaked out.
You could argue with Jamie Dornan that he's freaked out.
No. Seth Rogen in The Night Before is a momentary, I am on drugs, but beforehand, he was into having the baby. He was. Jamie Dornan is, you didn't take your shot, fuck you. It's nah, I'm not having that. Don't you dare, Mark Foster. Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare. Right, okay, fine. Defend it. Go on. I know you want to. Fucking go on.
I really liked it.
Fuck's sake, man! What is wrong with you?
A lot. I really quite enjoyed it.
And Kim Basinger wasn't even in it.
No, she wasn't.
Anyway,
in a this is a fitting finale to these three movies that as a cinephile I should be vehemently against.
The thing is, the first two I don't mind. It's just this one is fucking useless.
But I thought it was charming at points. I think for the first time, Janie Dornan actually displays a personality within it. It's fun. I don't think any of them are particularly sexy. In 50 Shades Darker, one of the... Because I watched the extended cut, the unmasked cut.
Good.
There's an extra sexy scene in it where he fucks her over a pool table.
Sweet.
And he pushes her over the pool table after they've played pool and says to her, "I'm not going to be gentle. I'm going to fuck you hard, and I'm not going to be gentle." And she goes, "Okay," and then he literally fucks her. Possibly the most, like, if you're talking about 10 is just fucking brutal, fucking and fucking 0 is old people having sex. It's maybe a 6.
Right. Okay.
Bex actually looked at me and said, "If you said that to me and then did that, I would turn around to you and go, really?" So that was quite amusing. That, and it is like that. It's almost like Jamie Dornan just doesn't like what's going on. He's really uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
Whereas Dakota Johnson seems like she'd be a little bit like, I'm fucking down with this. Whereas Dornan's like, no, I am missionary, and on birthdays, maybe doggy.
Yeah.
And Dakota Johnson's like, fucking hit me with that.
Yeah.
It does feel like that. It feels like he's done this because he thinks this is going to enhance my career. Therefore, I'm going to do it. And then he's got into it and gone, I don't like it. Can we just get to the end? Whereas Dakota Johnson's gone, fuck it, I don't need the money, I'm fucking rich.
I love the fact that there has literally been no press for this film.
Yep.
It is contractual obligation, the movie.
Yep.
It's incredible.
But I still enjoyed it. They just fucking... It literally is fluff. It is one of those fucking tea cake things that just has a marshmallow inside it, right? And that's all this is. It's just fucking marshmallow with a little dough of chocolate, and then there's maybe a little bit of jam inside, and you're going, oh, shit, there's no biscuit. What the fuck? It is just a film of fluff that then tries to put a little bit of story in it, but it's bollocks. Nobody gives a shit. Just show them fucking whizzing around in that fast car, going to exotic places, and just... She's a little bit shit at having a billionaire for a husband.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't she? Oh, I need to have my own career. He owns that company. You're only in that job because he owns that company.
Yeah.
It's that, oh no, you got there through hard work and blowing me. That's essentially what's going on. But I like the fact that she's just a bit... He's a dick to her. Like, he is a dick to her in general. He's controlling and everything like that. You could argue maybe that that she's aware that's what he's like, and she's trying to essentially work that out of him. He'll change for me. And he kind of does seem to want to change for her. But I like the fact that she's just fucking playful with it.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, we're going to do this. No, I'm not. He's like, oh, you are? She's like, nope.
But I still remember from 50 Shades of Grey, that scene where they're across that office table from each other negotiating the contract.
Yeah.
I actually remember that scene. Yeah. I don't remember anything from any of the films, but I remember that. And why? Because Sam Taylor Johnson gave a shit, And there was interesting stuff going on there.
But I don't think Samuel L. Jackson's a good director.
I think she went into that film with her eyes open and then she tried.
Yeah, and I think that she was the wrong choice for it.
There's an argument to be made for that.
Whereas James Foley, I think, is the right choice for these type of movies because they're not think fucking pieces. It's fucking hell. It was bore out of Twilight fan fucking fiction.
But wouldn't it be interesting if it was more than that, though? Which the first film at times strained to be.
It did, but I don't think that's what people who read the books want. They don't
want this either, because it's not that sexy and there's not a lot of Jamie Dornan.
No, but I think that it was always going to be difficult to make these movies because you can't show an erect penis.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing. It is,
which is wrong.
And because... Yeah, I mean, like, again, Rhiannon work. Like, she's not a film buff in the slightest. Like, but she was like, basically, if you want to do 50 Shades, you have to do porno.
Yeah, and there is a porn version of it that isn't just 50 Shades of Dick. It's I think it's called the Emancipation of Emma Marx. I think it's called, right. Which is essentially a porn version of this where they've done it close enough to not get sued. That is closer to what people... I haven't read the book, so I don't know, but I think it's probably closer to that. Let me just make sure I'm getting that title right. No, The Submission of Emma Marx, it's called. And they've done 3 of them, I believe. And they star a adult actress called Penny Pax. And I've watched the first one, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough.
And, yeah, it's sexier because it can show people getting fucked rather than people pretending to fuck. However, the sexiest part of the entire fucking trilogy is the bit where he's on that fucking pommel horse holding himself up and you go... Damn!
Yeah.
No matter what gender you are.
Yeah, no, that shit is
fuck.
That shit is impressive.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the hottest part was Max Martini, but fine.
No, it's that. But yeah, it's I enjoyed it, and I will admit that at the end of it, when there was a little montage of bits that have happened throughout it and everything like that, I was watching it going, "Oh, I'm a little bit sad that this is the last one." Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I will watch this trilogy again. I liked it, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
I might watch the first one again. It ends with her saying, "No, it's not fucking happening." Like...
I've rewatched the second, and I've rewatched the first, and I will say that the second is they're more playful. They feel more what these movies should be, whereas the first one seems like. Jane Austen's shit in the first one, and Dakota Johnson's not great either.
Oh, just fucking... I don't know, man. It's like...
it's messy as fuck, and it's all over the place, the first one.
It's not...
The first one, I would go as far as say, I think it's actually a bad film. It doesn't get what these films probably should be. And it's... Whereas Foley does seem more... It's more his fucking wheelhouse.
I don't think these films are what they should be. I mean, like you say, it's impossible to be what these films should be. I think that you like it more because it is your... because it's your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Which is cool.
I'm fine with that.
But I these bits... Sorry, I'm so sorry. Fuck's sake. Anyway... If it was the audience's wheel, I agree. Parts 2 and 3 are more the audience's wheelhouse than part 1 is. I agree with that. Parts 2 and 3 still aren't what they want.
No, they're probably not. But then again, the screening that I went to, which is a couple of weeks after it was released, on a Wednesday night, full.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, man. I went to see it Monday 10 to 6, and it was like 2/3 full.
Yeah, I would say, about 2/3 full, maybe 3/4 full. I'm pretty sure there was me and one other guy there, and everyone seemed to really enjoy it.
Oh, dude, it was all fucking. It was all women in my showing. Like, I basically had my fucking power beats in, like, not looking at anyone in the fucking eye, hoping that the person who scanned my fucking Cineworld ticket thing on my app didn't say 50 Shades. Thankfully, she just went screen 2 first on the left. And
You see, I own that fucking shit. I'm like nodding at people. Yeah, we're gonna watch this. Yep. I go into that fucking with my head held fucking high.
I don't have that self-confidence.
50 Shades Freed, please.
Anyway, definitely shit.
Yeah, you're wrong. We both know who's wrong on this one.
Right, you actually going definitely not shit?
Yeah, I'm definitely not shit.
Good for you. Own it. Fair enough.
And
you're an idiot.
I'm not even going to go Geostorm.
Yep, you're an idiot. All right. That's cool.
I thoroughly accept that. Have we got time for what we've been watching?
I'm good. It's all on you, mate. I'm good.
Yeah, we can fucking speed around this shit, can't we?
All right.
I'll speed round mine so you can spend a bit more time on yours.
Go on.
I've already talked about.
I will speed round. Don't worry.
Go on.
All right, fine. Oh shit. Okay. I talked about 8 Mile last week, didn't I? Or did I?
Yes. No, I didn't. No.
No. Okay. 8 Mile. That film doesn't really hold up very well.
Quickly, 50 Shades Freed. Definitely not shit. 22%.
Yeah.
Touching Cloth. 11%.
Yeah.
Shit. 56%. And Geostorm. 11%. I'm very happy with that.
Fair enough. Fine. Good for you. Actually, sorry, I shouldn't be so fucking mingy about that. I'm glad people enjoy it. It's fine. It's fine. Just more fucking more
Dick.
More Jamie Johnson.
Yeah.
Anyway.
More. What is it? Oh, by the way, I actually quite liked the scene where he was put his head in a jumper and told the fetus off.
Well, yeah, but you hate kids.
That is true. Yeah.
Right.
Becky literally said, "That would be you."
Yep. Right. 8 Mile. I don't want to talk about it anymore. 8 Mile. I don't really want to talk about 8 Mile either. It's fine. It's aged quite badly.
Horribly. I am guessing that movie is aged.
That film, if it was released now, holy fucking shit. Oh my. So there's 8 Mile. Creed. Creed is fucking fantastic.
Oh, I need to rewatch Creed.
Creed is fucking fantastic. Yeah. Alright. I watched a documentary called Tickled, which I want you to watch, and then we'll talk about it. It's on Amazon Prime.
I will watch it this week, I promise.
Yeah, okay. And, folks, Tickled, Amazon Prime. Get acquainted with it, and we'll see you next week. And the only other one I want to talk about is The Ritual, which is...
Oh, yeah.
So it's a new film by David Bruckner, who did The Signal, I believe. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Did a section for VHS and whatnot. And this is... bit of cognitive...
Is that the Rafe Spar one?
Yeah. So it's on Netflix everywhere but the UK. It was like a Netflix original everywhere outside the UK, but got a theatrical over here. So it's on VOD over here. I rented it for £3.49 on Amazon in standard def. You know, you've got to save those pennies somehow. So you could rent it in high definition, but you rented it in standard def? Yeah, because it was £1 less.
Fucking hell. That surprised me for you, bud.
My wife, right. A, I watched most of it on my phone. B, my wife is self-employed.
Yeah, look after the pennies and the pounds, take care of themselves, bruh.
There you go. So, and also, I don't know. It's like the thing is, if it was in 4K, like seriously, if it was in 4K on iTunes, I'd pay the $5.49. You know, I would. Like, yep. But it's like, it's not. I'm not paying $5.49 on iTunes to watch this in HD when I can pay £2 less and just watch it in standard def.
Is what it was, $5.49 on iTunes today?
It's fucking iTunes' new rental policy where everything's fucking $5.49 because they do
fucking 4K, fucking
4K's the fucking same price. So we're just going to increase the price of rentals. Anyway, it's good for me generally. I can't complain. I feel bad for people who don't have 4K. Anyway, so. The Ritual. Tagline. They should have gone to Vegas. So you're kind of thinking it might be a bit jokey. You know, they should have gone to Vegas. Yeah. It's not. It's really grim. And, like, literally, I'm writing my review for Vodzilla, which will be up by the time you hear this. And the first paragraph is talking about what is in a tagline. Because it was like, I kind of got put off by this film because of the taglines. It was like, okay, fine, comedy, horror, whatever. And it's like, it's really not. Basically, 5 mates on a night out in a city, assuming London. 2 of them walk into an offie, or a fucking one-stop or whatever, like a Tesco Express kind of thing. And one of them gets fucking murdered by people robbing the place. And then the remaining 4 go on a hiking trail in Sweden, which the dead one wanted to do. And then they want to take a shortcut through some woods, and then shit starts going down. And it's basically, the first act is like unsaid anger and resentment at the one who didn't do anything. The second act is that shit kind of blowing up. And the third act is a really fucking weird monster thing. A really interesting look to it. Like, really interesting. Interesting concept to it. And shit going down. It's quite an oppressive atmosphere. In the cinema, I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't see it in the cinema now, because it would have been quite an experience, I think. Bruckner handles the tension of it all really well. The cast are really good. It's based on a novel and seems to actually be about shit. It's about guilt and resentment and, you know, how that shit can fester within people. But there's a monster in it as well. I really liked it. It's not perfect. You know, the budgetary constraints kind of do show themselves in the third act, but I thought it was a really interesting piece of work, and I would recommend it. It's a solid recommend. It's not like the best horror of the year, blah, 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 but it's a really, really solid recommend.
So when it crops up on one of the streaming services for free, it's a good kind of
fuck yeah.
good Wednesday night.
I'm okay. I was okay paying £3.49 for it. If you're just watching it as part of a subscription, that's a fucking win.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, that's me.
Cool. I'll speed round. I already talked about American Made. I already talked about 50 Shades Darker. So the other 2 I've got on here are. I actually watched the Tambourine, the new Chris Rock stand-up thing he's done for Netflix.
Shit. Yeah, how's that?
The first of 2, I think there's going to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a record amount they've paid for these specials. It's really good. Chris Rock is still really, really fucking funny, and he deals with the same things. Yes, Trump gets a mention, but it's not just constantly there, and it's done in a smart way. He talked about his divorce, and he talked about his addiction to porn and how he's dating again now, etc., and things like that. But he's really fucking funny with it, and he's really critical with it, but he's not crowd pleasingly critical. Chris Rock, he's very much he's a smart guy, and he cuts through it quite well. And I also watched the Patton Oswalt special he did as well. That he's more direct, just attacking Trump because it's more his style, and it's funny. And then he deals with the stuff with his wife passing, and that's fucking heartbreaking the way he deals with that. It genuinely is, to go with from a comedy thing where it's the Chris Rock one is laugh out loud funny at points. The Patton Oswalt is quite chuckle funny, and there's the occasional more snigger funny. But that's, I think, that's his style of comedy. And then he starts on the talking about his wife thing, and it does get you quite emotionally with it. It is fucking heartbreaking to listen to, because he's talking about it in relation to, losing his wife, but also the fact that he's got a young daughter as well.
Yeah.
And he talks about that element of it, and that's quite fucking tough to watch, you know, because he speaks like quite honestly, and he's not trying to go for laughs, but he just happens to be a funny guy, and he happens to know he's a funny guy, and he spoke about it and said, for somebody who talks about their life in their comedy, for me to not mention it would be remiss. I'd be cheating the people who've put me where I am, and that's wrong. And it's interesting using Magnolia, isn't it? Of course.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, they're both, you know, solid recommend if either comedian is yours kind of thing. I also rewatched a James Foley movie, The Perfect Stranger, the Halle Berry and Bruce Willis Giovanni Ribisi film.
Nice.
Have you ever seen this?
No, but that sounds amazing.
Fucking hell. Right. Okay. So, Halle Berry is an investigative journalist. And her research partner is Giovanni Ribisi. She uncovers a story that will expose a Republican senator having sexual relations with male interns, and he's very anti Republican, so he's very anti gay rights, etc. She's celebrating the story and getting it all on tape and everything like that, and then the story gets fucking quashed. And so she's basically taken off and told to take a bit of a break, and then she gets a lead on a story investigating a marketing mogul played by Bruce Willis, who happens to be married to a very, very rich woman, and that's where all his money comes from. And it seems he's playing away online. He's doing the online sexting thing in 2007. And so she starts investigating that, and things sort of move from there. This movie fucking goes all over the place. So much. It's Giovanni Ribisi in peak Giovanni Ribisi fucking weirdness.
That sounds good.
He's not quite dancing with a juice box that kind of weirdness.
Yeah.
But it is him being just fucking creepy. Halle Berry's character goes all over the place. Essentially, Giovanni Ribisi's character is kind of, he's helping her, has a bit of a thing for her, but he's helping her and he's doing everything she asks, and she's fucking horrible to him. She's an absolute bitch to, like, properly, he does what she's asking. And because he's either not doing it quick enough, or he's not doing exactly what she's asked, or if he's improvising somewhere, she just starts screaming at him.
Nice.
Bruce Willis is just fucking, like, just creepy in it. It's just a bit weird. Almost like he doesn't know it's a film.
Okay.
Like that. Like he's fucking, like, he's settled into this way too fucking easy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like that. It's an hour and like 50 minutes or something like that. And I'm almost tempted to say that if on a Saturday night and it's 11 o'clock and you're going, I've had a couple of beers and I need something shit to watch that I could just kind of laugh at, yes, Perfect Stranger fits the fucking bill there with no problem, because it's just a bit stupid. It's really fucking stupid, actually, and I enjoyed it quite a lot, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good for you.
Yep. But I'm an idiot, so yeah. What other James Foley movies could I watch?
God.
Glenn Ross. Ooh. Fear. Actually, I've seen all of his movies. Fear. The Mark Wahlberg,
Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, fuck yeah.
I like that. It's a good movie.
I remember the fingering on the roller coaster.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm gonna rewatch that soon. The Corruptor, also with Mark Wahlberg, but also with Chow Yun-fat.
Nice.
Fucking do you know what? I feel a bit of a Foley thong coming on.
No, well, let's get the Juddathon out of the way
Let's get the
first,
Juddathon out of the way. And I also rewatched the 2000 remake of Bedazzled.
Oh, shit. All right. Good old Brendan Fraser. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I like this movie.
Yeah, I like it as well. Harold Ramis in it.
Harold Ramis is, it is Harold Ramis, yeah. I miss Brendan Fraser. And Elizabeth Hurley is having a lot of fun in this movie. A lot of fun. Literally, she's just basically going, so essentially, I am an accent and a hot body. Yeah, brilliant. That's what I do best. And that's what it is. And yeah, it was a lot of fun rewatching this. It is 93 minutes long, and that is exactly how long this movie should be.
Nice.
But I watched it on Amazon Prime, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And yeah, like I said, I rewatched American Made, and yeah, that shit holds up.
Very good.
So yeah, what are we covering next week, Ian?
Can I just say we got results on the Cat Deeley poll?
Oh, what was it?
Actually, well, first off, James Watley at Watley Dude said, Cat Deeley once bought me a Kit Kat. The woman can do no wrong.
Fair enough.
Man, if that woman...
That's so weird.
If that woman bought me a Kit Kat at a certain age in my life, I would have had an accident. I won't lie. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, I'm pleased to say... Oh, fuck's sake, I'm so sorry. Out of 19. Fuck's sake, sorry.
19 votes is quite a lot.
19 votes.
In half an hour.
63% definitely not shit. Shit, 37%.
And can I say that I accidentally pressed shit when I was supposed to press definitely not shit on that?
Fuck you. I didn't press anything. I wanted it to be true. So, alright, the verdict on Cat Deeley, she's a peach.
Yep.
Right. Next week, we got Mute.
We do have Mutes.
We got Ladybird.
We do have Ladybird.
We have I, Tonya.
Fuck it, yeah, why not?
Hey! Yep. Triple banger. Let's do this.
Triple banger, yes. Yeah, fuck it, I'm throwing up for that.
Nice.
Cool, right. Yes, so that was episode 244. Thank you much for listening, guys. We will be back next week with a triple bill of reviews. Dudeandthemonkey.com, Patreon/Dudeandthemonkey, at Ian Loring, at DudeFoz, at Dudeandthemonkey, dudeandthemonkey@gmail.com. Ian, am I forgetting anything?
Nope.
Cool, right. Thank you much for listening. We shall speak to you next week, guys.
Bye-bye.